And welcome. The O'Connell Sports Center, the campus of Clark College. It's the playoffs, baby. This is why we play all those games during the regular season. This is why we sit behind this desk and talk on these microphones for so many seasons. It's a chance for a championship, a chance for the playoffs, and it's right here in our own backyard at the O'Connell Sports Center on the campus of Clark College. Good evening, ladies and gents. Mike Koreski with you, Beyond the Eye Productions. We'll get to more of that in a bit, but we have a couple of players we're going to highlight here for both squads. For the Portland Chinooks, it's Jermaine Jordan, their leading scorer, as Google Gary Akiyama calls him, a high flyer, fantastic talent, plays above the rim. For the Vancouver Volcanoes, it's Andre 3000, Andre Murray. And look at the swag the Volcanoes are wearing tonight. It looks like Raiders, but it says Volcanoes. They are Pirates. That is for sure. Mike Koreski with you, Beyond the Eye Production, with my trusty sidekick, the abacus, Gary Akiyama. And welcome, Gary. We've got a golden ticket right here, my friend. We did this 3 years ago here in this very desk, in this very time, and here it is again. We have the Chinooks. Tell me, what's it mean?
Well, I'll tell you what it means. This is what it's all about, folks.
Ooh.
Another championship ring.
Another
the last
one.
time in 2011, and we're expecting one in 2014, folks.
Ooh, another one.
Yes.
And then what are some keys tonight? Because we have to win this tonight before we even talk a ring tomorrow. It's hard for us, though.
Well, I'll tell you what the Volcanoes must do to win. They need to contain Jermaine Jordan. He's number 2 in scoring at 27.4 points. Number 3 in rebounding at 12.1. Now, we were going to worry about Jared Cunningham, but he won't be able to play. So we've got to look at their big guy, Jermaine Blackburn, averaging 12.3 points a game, 14.9 rebounds, and 2.9 assists. Volcanoes need to get off to a quick start and not back down. The Volcano bench must have a good game and step up to the plate. And we're defending, as we say all along, from Andre Murray, we're going to defend the castle. This will be a battle royale game, folks. It's one game at a time, I know, but we need to take care of the ball.
That's very true, Gary. Great breakdown. The one thing to remember in this rivalry, Portland many times has rolled in here without a David Lucas or without a Jared Cunningham or without a Kevin Ford, and they find a way to compete, because that's what this rivalry is. Compete, compete, compete.
Right, and as you always say, Maverick, you got to have a three-legged stool to win this game. Well, Jermaine Jordan we have to contain, Jermaine Blackburn we need to contain, and then also they have weapons with Justin Stanky, Jermaine Blackburn, of course, Stephen Harvey, and my dark horse contender for the Chinooks will be Antoine Williams. He may do damage in this game.
Oh, yeah, he was a pleasure to work with when he was here with the Volcanoes. He was on the 2011 championship team. We don't want to give him another ring unless he comes back and plays for us. So that's good for the Chinooks. Now for the Volcanoes, Gary, talk to me about that. Andre 3000, Andre Murray sat out the Tuesday night loss to Portland. They're bringing him back. What do you expect?
Well, I expect Andre to go with full gusto. I mean, you look at the swagger now on this team as they came out to warm up. Oakland Raiders, but it's the Volcano Raiders, and so they're in it to win it. There's no doubt about it. Talking with the coaches, talking to the players before the game, it's all about getting another ring, and you can expect nothing but that.
Would you say it's the Raid-Canos?
That could be true.
Or the Volcanders. I mean, just
right.
Trying to combo things there. But yes, Antoine Williams, he's been getting some more minutes than Stephen Harvey at the point guard slot the last couple of games, what I've seen for the Chinooks. And he brings another element to it, a very savvy veteran guard for the IBL. Can hit some outside shots, very good distributor. Even our championship year of 2011, he was averaging over 6 assists a contest.
Right, yeah. So, Twan, you got to watch out for him. He's been here before, done that, and so he can bring some scary moments to us if we don't contain him. And then Andre Murray, of course, Andre is ready to go with our starting lineups. Calvin Hampton, Brian Morris, and I think we're going to go with Corey Largent and Josh Tarver. So we have a well-experienced starting five.
Well, and this is something else, too, as you watch the intros. When Hampton and Morris came out, it was just a very slow stroll. A very confident, slow stroll. Now these guys are kind of going around, and there is our happy guy, Josh Tarver. Now, I wonder if the Raider jerseys will make him not smile. I would be very surprised if that happens.
I'll keep that stat during the game, Maverick. Let's see how many times Josh Tarver doesn't smile.
It's the Tarver Smile Watch. That's got to be it. So, very good stuff for the Volcanoes. It looks like everyone is here with the exception of Cameron McCaffrey. That's okay, though. Tarver's back in the fold. He came back last weekend. I think he was on the road trip for a couple of the games at least. So I think they're going to be looking all right there.
Yeah, and I think confidence is high now for the Volcanoes after winning that big game up in Bellingham. We'll talk more about that, but these guys are confident. I wouldn't say they're really cocky right now, Maverick, but, you know, they're very confident and have the experience in the playoffs.
Well, and after that big win in Bellingham, right, it was like the piano has been lifted off our back, the 7-year piano that always put us to our knees whenever we'd make that 6.5-hour car ride over there. And after that, it was like they knew they were going to kind of settle down a little bit when they had the game against Portland because it didn't affect on the seeding whatsoever. So that's when they said Andre 3000. Calvin Hampton, he did have a back injury during that game. But as we said, he came in today, and tell us what he said.
Yeah, he said that, you know, he's feeling fine. He went to a chiropractor, and I think he's feeling as good as new, and he is just pumped for this game, I can tell.
Well, and the quote was, "I'm healed."
Yes. That's all we needed to know.
He said, the chiropractor put his hands on me, and I'm healed. So the Volcanoes bring it down, and here we go. 2014 playoffs, 10th anniversary of the Volcanoes. Thank you so much for joining us on Beyond the Eye Productions. Anton Jarrell, longtime IBLer with the steal and the deal.
Wow.
Not a good way to start the ball game, but things happen.
No, that's fine. We got a long ways to go.
So talk about the starters for your hometown Volcanoes, Mr. A.
Well, I mean, what we can say about our starters is with an all-star team, half that team is on starting, you know, Calvin Hampton, you got Brian Morris, Corey Largent, the seasoned veteran, Josh Tarver, and, of course, Andre 3000, who's having, as we know, a Picasso season, Maverick.
That is correct. And for the Chinooks, there's 30, Anton Jarrell, who I brought up just a little bit ago. Longtime vet of the IBL. Had a run with the Tacoma Thunder about 6, 7, 8 years ago or so. And also with the rebound there, that is Jermaine Blackbird, number 24. He had a run with the Snohomish team a few years ago, too. Jarrell with the 3-0. Rounding out their starters, number 3, Justin Stanky. Number 21, Jermaine Jordan, the all-league baller. And number 8, Stephen Harvey, the man who loves to pass and get the lanes full.
Yeah, we've got to watch him quickly, and Andre makes his first statement with a three-pointer.
That's right. So 3-2 Volcanoes. 10:45 left in the opening quarter of this semifinal game. So the winner of this, Gary, is playing tomorrow at 5.
Yes.
It is so hard not to overlook it.
No, that's why I say it's got to be one game at a time. And I know that's easier said than done, Maverick, but really, we got to win this to get to the championship.
That's right. And the Volcanoes with the black jerseys, too, they haven't broke those out except for the last few games. So they're kind of a statement jersey as well. And there you go, Calvin Hampton, a nice little leaner right there. And like we talked about, all IBL this season for Calvin, in our opinion.
Absolutely. I haven't seen the ballots yet, but I would say he has an excellent chance of getting that.
Well, he's been the rock of the front line, Gary. He's been the one who's gone through people leaving and people coming, and he's been the one constant the whole season. And until the back injury the other day, he had been money every night. Oh, there you go. Jordan is the recipient from a Justin Stanky steal and bounce off that backboard. And that's what Portland does. They get in that open court, and they love to share it and get everyone involved.
Yeah, they're going to need to contain those two sooner than later.
3 off for Tarver, and here come the Chinooks. Stanky operating, kicks to Jarrell. Nice split from Anton Jarrell.
Wow.
What a deceptive player.
Yeah, it looked like he was in slow motion, but he got it to the hoop.
That's right. I don't care if it's slow. I just want it to finish. That's the biggest thing, in my opinion. And that was a nice play right there from Stanky. He had a cutting Jordan there. He was fouled. And right now the body language of the Chinooks, Gary, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
They're very confident.
Yeah, they're playing really confident early in the game. You know, we're not shaken, but you don't want to give these guys the confidence.
Well, that's just it. Remember, Andre 3000 sat out on the finale Tuesday. It still went to overtime. And tonight, no Jared Cunningham, no problem. Like I said, in this rivalry, whoever's putting on the unis, it's time to go to battle. And there's Jarrell once again. Wow, what a late season addition for the Chinooks.
Yeah, really nice addition, and you know, someone's going to have to make up, you know, Jared Cunningham's 26.1 average.
Well, and so far, Jarrell has hit, what, 4?
Yeah, he has.
He's well on his way if you go by this the whole game. And there's Tarver making something happen, but no. Here come the Chinooks. There is Harvey. He is looking, he is surveying. He wants to get someone involved, but not quite. Good keeper, but Hampton rebounds. Here comes Andre. He's got one man to meet, and he sure does. Andre 3000, a day at the races.
Yeah, Andre having 5 of our 7 points already early in the game.
And look at that, we got Jake Carlisle waiting to get in here.
Well, okay, since he's here, we know that Kano is somewhere else then.
Well, Kano was just here, though, so
yeah,
maybe
I think
he took off the uni.
Yeah, I think Kano went to have some burgers.
Oh, boy. And there it is. Stanky goes over to Jordan.
My word.
Yeah! Wow, and that gets a timeout. Coaching staff of the Volcanoes needs to go to that grease board. They're erasing it. Time to draw it up. And like I told you, the Chinooks get it going. They get it going, Gary. They get wide open, and you just look out.
Right. Well, you know, during the season, they won 3 of the 5 games. And you know, as we see Jake Carlisle and his family coming by.
That's right. DAP for all.
Yeah.
Love those guys.
So with Portland, you know, having the series from the regular season 3 to 5, you know, it means that we're going to have to step up quickly to the plate. Now, I think that's what Joe and Brian are aware of.
Well, and so far, 4 of 7 from the field for the Chinooks, and 5 rebounds already too. They're getting after it.
Yeah. They're going to have to. We're going to have to change our defense a little bit.
Well, so far, like we said, Jarrell has had a very big effect on them to this point for the Chinooks. And, of course, you saw Jermaine Jordan. He's got about 5 more of those left in this ball game, I'm afraid to tell you.
Well, I hope they're misses then.
Missed dunks. All right, and there's Brian Morris. He stays with it.
Yep.
Second run with the Volcanoes. He's had a run with the Chinooks. And, see, that's another underlying story. We've had 3 players now who've been on both squads.
Yes, that's very interesting how they can switch like that, but I think we're going to serve up the plate here.
And speaking of serving, Josh Tarver, he's taking it in. And 1, baby. And 1.
Yeah, does that so well.
Well, and like we talked about, Gary, I've told you before, I'll say it again, no one transitions from defense to offense and gets the passing lanes correct more than Josh Tarver.
Yeah, his court sense and his vision is just incredible.
Peripheral.
That's the word. Peripheral.
5 times fast. Go. So Jordan dishing over Jermaine Blackburn. Kano defense made him change it up just enough. And there's Murray with the dagger. Not quite.
Just warming up.
And here we go. And there's Stephen Harvey pushing the action. Very nice, and he drew the foul.
Yeah.
I tell you, Harvey, man, you can't sleep on him.
No, he's a gamer and a player, and he had some impact on some of the games in that second game on May 17th when Portland beat the Canoes 119-110 at Portland. Justin Harvey had 9 assists, and also he can score the ball too. So we can't contain him on the drive-through there, Maverick. It's going to be a long game.
Yeah, and plus he shaved. He shaved off the beard, Gary. Trimmed up the hair, shaved off the beard. This is his version of getting serious for the playoffs.
Well, maybe that's his swagger look.
Yeah, that's his swag. So here he goes for the second one. He is communicating with Jordan there about the defensive assignments. And yeah, it's intense.
Yeah, he's pretty pumped right now.
Oh yeah, it's intense with both squads. I think they're probably still a little bit jittery. They want to make those, those wonderful top 10 plays and 20-point plays and whatnot, but you just kind of have to be patient.
Well, I think we just need to take care of the ball. I mean, we don't need to worry about these top 10 plays. Just get the ball in the hoop for right now.
Mm-hmm. And no sooner did you say it, Brian Morris took it to town. He is tough to stop when he gets it on the block and backs his man down, Gary.
Well, there aren't too many people in the league that are going to stop Brian Morris when he's right underneath the basket.
Well, and the thing is, too, he has this Zach Randolph vibe where he is just tireless under there, and he's just a handful after you've been just banging bodies for 3.5 quarters. You got nothing left.
Yeah.
He's relentless.
That's why they call him the Big D.
There you go. And substitution for the Canos, Adam Herman is in. And we will see here what it looks like. Corey Larson's out. Tarver with the steal. Let's see what happens with the numbers. He goes to Andre.
Nice.
Conversion. Settling down real nice for the Volcanoes right now. Let's see if the Chinooks can match the groove the Volcanoes have found themselves in.
Oh,
and Tarver tried to get the steal, Gary, but it's kind of questionable when you're reaching from behind.
Yeah, you're not going to get that call too many times from that angle.
No. Still got to try, though.
Yep, absolutely.
Still got it. You get 6 fouls a game, why not?
Adam Herman having a great game from the last time they played Portland, and I think he's going to step up to the plate here. He has to step up to the plate.
Definitely. 30 points for the rookie from Concordia and Prairie High School. Go Falcons.
Yep.
And 30 points for them last Tuesday against these Chinooks. His first game ever as a Volcano, as a member of the IBL, against these same Chinooks, like 27 points. So he's kind of got a magic touch when it comes to the Chinooks.
Yeah. Just graduated, All-American, All-NAIA, All-Conference.
Concordia's all-time leading scorer, if I'm not correct.
That's correct. You are correct.
If I'm not mistaken, I mean. Not if I'm not correct.
You are
that
correct.
Happens too many times. All right, Morris flips over to Andre. 3,000. Hey-ya! It's a 3. Volcanoes up 18-16. And now it's time for the crowd to get involved.
Yes.
That is what it's time for.
Come on, Mitch, get them going.
And there's a 3 from Harvey.
Boy.
Yeah, and he is pumped tonight, Googs. He is pumped.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. But, hey, it's a playoff, so I think all these guys better be pumped up.
Well, you let it hang out. You let it all hang out, Gary.
Yep.
You focus and you let her rip.
There's no tomorrow in the playoffs.
That's right. Life is a parachute. Grip it and rip it. That's what you do when it comes to these playoffs, Gary.
Well, crowd, a lot more people than the beginning.
Yes, definitely. The day started at 2 p.m. with a play-in game between the Seattle Flight and the Salem Sabres. Contest was won by the Flight, 127-116. But their reward, dear Googs, is they get to play the number 1 seed Bellingham Slam after this game.
Yeah, you can call that a reward.
Yeah, but shades of the old AAU days.
Yeah, but it is a reward. Yeah, Flight had they played tough. It could have went either way, and the Flight. Tyrone White Jr. just went off. He had 35 points in that game, 6 rebounds. Webster Moreland helped out, 27 points, 13 rebounds. And Jeff Dunn had 18 points for Seattle.
You mean Salem?
Salem, excuse me.
And then Seattle, what do you have over there? It looks like Mike James.
Yeah, Mike James just went off there, 36 points. Dante Jones, 28 points, and Johnson had 24, so.
Nice. Well, and the Flight are interesting, Gary, because all systems are go, it seems, for next year, them playing a full season. They've had 2 branding seasons besides this year. They had last year where they're playing 6-7 games, but they're trying to get a rivalry going with Bellingham, a little geographical rivalry, because the Canos and Portland traveling over 6.5, 7 hours 2 to 3 times a season might be a little bit too much. So Seattle's someone they can play 4 or 5 times a year in each other's place. And I see on the Flight roster, they have a Coug, buddy. 6'2" Antonio Chavers.
Oh, okay.
Go Cougs!
Hey.
That's what I've got to say.
You got to say that.
Yeah, and as you're looking there, the Seattle Flight, a nice job, and put together by Mrs. Kemp.
Yeah. And Marcella Kemp, their son, plays on that team as well. So that's a household name up in Seattle.
Definitely. So, and Seattle's quite the hotbed, Gary. They've turned out a number of NBA players and top college prospects. So it's really nice to have another avenue for basketball there. And the good news is, there's always talks of more teams coming into the Hibble. And if we get some more over here in this area, you never know, right?
Well, talks are on their way, and we'll just see how it happens for next season. I'm actually pretty optimistic about that with other teams coming into the league.
Well, and optimism is not a bad thing. I had a dream. So there's Brian Morris working on number 11, Kevin Ford for the Chinooks. Tough guy, 6'9" from Oral Roberts, 14.3 points, 8.5 boards a game. He is a truck, Mr. Google.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting matchup as well during this game.
Speaking of Ford, he is a truck. I like that. So there's Brian Morris, though, taking Ford out of bounds a little bit, out of the play. Tarver back to Morris. He wants a three, and he's going to get it.
Nice touch.
Nice touch, Brian Morris. He said he's added that his last couple years in overseas, and it's really helped his game out. He said overseas is a lot of pick and pop with the guards. And so Jarrell bringing it back down low to Kevin Ford with that nice little hook. No. Jermaine Jordan fighting it, but he is over Tarver's back. 21-19 Canos.
Wow. It's going to be a barn burner, I'll tell you that. It's a battle royale.
And here comes Antoine Williams in from the University of Puget Sound, in for Stephen Harvey. Yeah, we're liking it. Talking to Pip Bloodsaw, Mr. Volcano pregame, and he was talking about how during the playoffs the rotations shorten a little bit. You get about 8 guys, pretty solid 8 guys that play. So that'll probably be very good for the Chinooks. There's Andre. The crowd loves it. They know what a special talent this guy is.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's the Picasso season, Gary, because Andre Murray, 34.3 points a game, 6.1 rebounds, 8.7 assists. He leads the league in scoring, assists, and steals.
Yeah, that's incredible for a guard to lead in all those categories. And all-time IBL Maverick, Andre's now number 3.
Oh, my goodness.
In all-time scoring. The only other one, of course, Jacob Stevenson at 29.06, and our former Volcano Paul Hafford, 25.20, and then Andre.
Well, it's interesting because Murray says this is it for him. So
I hope not. I can't believe that.
He says this is it, so I don't know what to think.
Well, we might have to entice him with some more pizza or something. I don't know.
Jermaine Jordan hits 3 there. Oh, and also entering the game, entering in the stands there is Porter Troop, former Volcano. Says hi to some of the old IBL guys up behind the Chinooks bench, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk with him. One of our favorite all-time Volcanoes.
Yeah, good to see Porter. Porter's right there, number 9 all-time IBL.
Yep, he's looking good, and he was there for the lean years of the Volcanoes too. So
yes, he was.
I have a soft spot for him because of that.
Yeah,
hasn't always been undefeated home court seasons. And there's Jermaine Jordan. Good D there by Adam Herman on him. Ford has to kick it out in the corner because of the D by Hampton. Stanky was looking to get it over there to Blackburn in the corner, but he was out of bounds. Good D by the Volcanoes, Gary. Good intensity.
Right, yeah, intensity's still up. I mean, no one's let anything down here, so it's just going to be, like I say, coming down to the last shot, I think.
And Sidell Doyle into the game for the Volcanoes. Nice entry pass and nice finish by Brian Morris. And Joe Navarro, Gary, even before the game said Morris will be the key. They have to establish him early, get the inside game established early, take some of Portland's confidence out.
Right, yeah, Brian Morris has capabilities of doing that, blocking shots and just having that swagger inside. I think Joe was a little worried about Calvin Hampton's back, and so I think he's going to be very careful about how he plays Calvin Hampton, as we can see Gio Bain coming in.
Or Cal, yeah. So I thought Cal had a pretty good run there. What do you think? What did he look like to you?
He looked pretty good. I mean, if I didn't know he didn't have a back pain, I wouldn't have, there was no difference in this game to me.
Yeah, I didn't see him assert himself as much on the offensive end, but I thought the defense looked really fine myself.
Yeah.
So now on the floor for the Volcanoes, 11 Sidell Doyle, 44 Adam Herman, 35 Gio Bain, 33 Brian Morris, and of course 23 Andre 3000 Andre Murray. 26-23 Volcanoes, 3:25 left, opening quarter.
Yeah, I like the way they're substituting our Volcanoes, with most of them on the bench resting.
Yeah, well, and they left a couple starters though, if you noticed.
Yes.
Morris and Murray. Murray saves it, almost goes in the crowd, puts the effort in. And that's going to be Chinooks ball, unfortunately. And that's another thing about Murray's game, Gary. He is fearless. He'll go into the stands, go on the floor, whatever it takes to get that ball.
Oh, Mr. Hustle.
Yeah, he comes down with the rebound there. He's surveying it. He is going to take it. A leaner, no. Bain, no. Here come the Chinooks. Oh, here it is.
Whoa, making a statement.
Rim shaker, Kevin Ford.
Yeah.
New name for him. Still vibrating over there. 26-25 Volcanoes. And there is Doyle looking down to Morris. Let's see what he can do to Ford. He has success. You bet he does. Oh, Ford with the block. But no foul there. No foul there. It looks like, what happened? Volcanoes out of bounds, maybe it looks like?
I did not catch that.
Jeez, Gary.
Well, I was looking at the lady giving you water.
Oh, Googs. Hashtag distracted. So at the line for the Chinooks is number 3, Justin Stanky. He is on the ballot of the IBL for Defensive Player of the Year.
Well, and I think well-deserved, too.
Yeah, he's had a really nice run for them. And, him and Harvey really solidified their backcourt there in Portland.
Got lucky there that he missed both of those. Kind of rare for Mr. Stanky.
So Sidell Doyle has the ball there. He goes down to Herman on the block, facing Jordan. Herman kicks to Doyle. Jumper. Sidell! The bank is open on a Saturday, young man.
Yeah, that's a key play there, 28-25 with 2:12. Mark that, because that could really accelerate us.
Well, and that's the thing when you get your bench in there, all you want is success, Gary. You want the plus-minus to be a plus, of course. Oh, so Doyle turned on the jets. He was penetrating, and he drew the foul. All right, J.R. Moore looks like he is coming in to give a spell there for the Volcanoes down low. He has played some key bench minutes, Mr. Moore.
Yeah, Mr. Moore is nice and mean when he gets out there, just like what we need him for the playoffs, capable of blocking those shots.
Oh, yeah, and another guy who played on the Chinooks, too.
Right.
So there are 4 guys in the contest.
Wow.
I tell you, almost enough for a starting 5.
Almost.
Didn't need the abacus for that one. And the Chinooks, number 15, Xavier Taylor from Clark College. Local guy. He is in for the Chinooks. And number 0, Dominique, Mr. Watson.
Oh, yes. I love Dominique.
Oh, yeah.
Making things happen.
Excitement. And he is also a candidate for 6th Man of the Year as well.
And well-deserved. He really turned his game on the last half of the season.
Ooh,
oh, my word.
And there is the rim shaker once again.
Man.
Hashtag still vibrating. 29-27, Volcanoes. 1:40 left in that first quarter. And there's Dominique. Nice play. He waited for the man to get past him, and he still had enough to keep the ball collected and eased up into the basket.
Elementary.
Exactly. Anton Williams. Yeah. He got caught. 3 Volcanoes staring at him. 3 were staring at him. And he just kind of got lost there before he could kick it back. That would have been a nice shot, a nice still photograph in the land of the Canos.
Yes.
That's what we would call it.
There you go.
Yeah, that was crazy. Looks on each other's faces, that would have been priceless. So right there, Stanky on Watson. Good matchup. Dominique slips him, though. Oh, nice. Dipsy-doo.
Nice move.
Dipsy-doo. Yep. We need a bit of toppings on that yogurt scoop.
Yep.
33-27, about a minute to go in the opening quarter. And there's Stanky Sidell Doyle on him. Defense has been really good for the Canos.
Oh, block shot there.
Foul is called.
Oh, that looked good to me.
Much to the chagrin of many a Volcano fan.
Yeah.
But like I said,
That's going to be key. So, these guys are pretty good. I mean, they got some good scores. They got some experience just like we do. So I think it'll be an all-out battle. The last game we played them went to overtime. So that was a tough one. So, we just got to come out, keep it simple, play hard, have fun, and defense and rebound and win the game.
That's fantastic. Well, you have been a true joy to be here to deal with this year, Corey. It's just fantastic, just what you bring here to the court.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, man. That's a nice compliment.
Well, you bet. Anytime.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, you will be rewarded, my friend.
We will, man.
We want one more. They were showing the 2011 banner over there. How about another one?
Hey, I'm ready, man. I hadn't got one yet, so, this will be my first one.
See, and it's funny because a lot of guys get on here, Corey, and they're like, I'm done after this. I'm like, you're Brett Favre in me. You're Brett Favre.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, man. I'm up there in age, so we'll see how this body holds up. If it gives me another one, I'll be back, and if not, man.
That's fantastic.
I got these little guys, and it's their turn, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. That was great footage at the end of the game to see that.
Thanks,
man.
Well,
thank you very much, Corey Large.
Thank you, sir.
Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
So we're going to be back with the final word with Googs. It's 156-148 Volcanoes.
Okay, short and sweet. Short and sweet.
All right, I'll try to shut up.
A couple minutes.
I wish Gary would too. Damn talker. All right, we'll get it quick. Back at you, Beyond the Eye Productions, wrapping up the semifinal. Another trip to the finals for the Volcanoes, Mr. Akiyama. How did it happen tonight?
It happened because we played well, obviously. We went down the stretch, did what we needed to do, ran our sets, played great defense. Our big guys really came through. And now, of course, Andre Murray, Mr. 3000 with 43 points. And so we were kept in the game. We ran our plan. That was the whole key, running the game plan and not going away from that. And it held true.
Very nice. It got really crazy there at the end. It got a little too close for comfort. But now, working tomorrow, player coach of Maya with the slam, or upset with the flight. Despite who the opponent is, what do the Vancouver Volcanoes need to do to close this thing out?
Well, I think tonight they really need to rest. It's too early to party. They really need to rest and just relax, heal themselves up, put ice on their backs like Coach Navarro was telling Calvin Hampton.
Yes.
And just focus. Keep your focus on the game and just don't deviate from anything else. Whether it's going to be Bellingham or Seattle, it's going to be a good game. But we just need to keep our focus. And if we do what we did tonight, I think it'll be another ring for us, Maverick.
That'll work. All right, Gary. And so you teed your own advice, no partying.
Right.
You're going to stay here and watch this game.
Stay here and watch the game for a while.
And then you're going home, mister.
And they're going to go home, straight home. And then hopefully we'll see 2011, 2014 IBL champions.
And that'll do it for tonight. Volcano victory, 156-148. We'll see you tomorrow on Beyond the Eye Productions for the finals. Good night, Vancouver.